Hi everyone, it's Yvette Blowitz from Spaitgirl.com and welcome to the Spaitgirl Talk Show podcast. I'm super excited to be here with you today in this online audio space and with our very special guest, Emma Sullings, who is the founder of Happy Boxes Project. Emma, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on today. It's very exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. And before we start the podcast interview, first of all, Emma, and for all of our global audience listening in, Emma is actually a founder of Empowering Women through alleviating the barriers of accessing basic needs. And the project happyboxesproject.com is supporting women in the most remote corners of Australia. So I'd just love, on behalf of yourself, Emma, and the Happy Boxes Project and myself here at Spaitgirl.com, to acknowledge the traditional owners of our country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And I know that was something really important and very special that we wanted to do today, Emma. So now that we've done our acknowledgement to the custodians of the land, welcome.
Oh, thank you. That was lovely.
So Emma, for our listeners who are tuning in and know nothing at the moment about Happy Boxes Project, what is it and what inspired you to start this project?
Okay, so what it is we are a registered charity here in Australia. We direct donations of beauty products, toiletries, accessories, jewelry. Sometimes we also direct donations of clothes to remote Indigenous communities. We have over 40 communities that we currently support throughout the Northern Territory, WA, Queensland and New South Wales. And in each of those locations, we have coordinators on the ground that help us get those donations to women, young girls, elders, families, anyone that needs it most. And for anyone that's never spent any time in a remote community, these places are really isolated. The community that I lived in had a population of 340 people. We had a petrol station and a caravan park and a school and a health clinic and a police station. And that was pretty much it. The closest Woolworths was a 4-hour drive away. The closest Kmart and Big W or Harvey Norman was a 7.5-hour drive away. So it was pretty remote. Other communities that we support, they are only accessible via 4-wheel drive. Sometimes they're flooded in for the wet season. And so when I was living in the Northern Territory, it became pretty evident that a lot of our women and girls and young families weren't always able to access not just little self-care luxuries, but also just the basics of soap and shampoo and conditioner. So that's what we do, but the way it sort of evolved happened quite organically. I was working with a group of girls and we decided to start a wellbeing group called the Stronger Sisters, and we would meet once a week at the school because I was a teacher there at the school, and we would spend time together chatting. We'd make jewelry, we'd do pampering sessions, sometimes we'd play sport, do cooking, and it was just a space for the girls to get together and have a really nice time together and look after each other and look after themselves. We talked about hygiene and personal health and other parts of education surrounding being a teenager and growing up and going through the massive changes that you go through. And one day the girls were feeling a little bit down. There'd been quite a bit of violence happening in their community, and we decided to build these little boxes, which were going to be a place for them to keep all their treasured memories and all their love notes to each other and photos. And after doing a pampering session, they wanted to have their own little pampering DIY spa, I guess, in their boxes. And because we couldn't just go down to Kmart and buy things affordably to fill their self-care boxes, I asked family and friends if they could send any my way, and we were just inundated with all these amazing donations. So the girls filled their boxes, which they coined their happy box, with all these beautiful products, and every girl in the school had one at home that was just theirs, to spoil themselves when they felt like they needed it. A lot of the girls were living in overcrowded housing situations, so quite often when families did do a big shop out of town, things didn't last very long when you've got 15 people using the one bathroom. So it was really nice for them to have their own special happy box. And I guess family and friends really loved the idea and loved how they were able to support the girls in such an easy way. So the donations kept coming. So we started making happy boxes for every woman in the community. And then the donations kept coming. So then we started making happy boxes for neighbouring communities. And the rest is kind of history. It's just grown. It's only been in the last year that a board has been established now, and we became a registered charity, and we've been starting to, I guess, advertise and market with more intention to I guess, gain more momentum and more donations so that we can reach more women in need. And ideally our goal is to be, making sure that all women, regardless of their location, always have access to those feel-good things like shampoo and conditioner. And I guess that's it in a nutshell.
Oh, wow. That is such an inspiring, incredible story, Emma. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love actually when you shared about connecting after school and doing that once a week. I thought, what a beautiful thing to do, to bring the young girls and together as a community, and to start out those self-care pampering sessions and just conversation and talking and allowing them to have a voice and a really safe place to share what's going on in their home environment. I just then love how now through the happy boxes, that even when there's so much turmoil and struggling and chaos and a crisis and violence and all sorts of really negative things going on in a home environment, that happy box gives them that real love and light and that gift of, this is going to be, this will pass, and sort of like just that gift of hope and love. And I just love that whole concept. And then doing the self-care to practice, to feel good, to help with stress, anxiety, increase that mood. And it's just little things that we take for granted. Like when you said, 4.5 hours or 7.5 hours to go and grab this and that, like we can just pop down and be 5 minutes away from the shop and get toiletries and shampoo and conditioner, and we don't think anything of it. But obviously these remote communities, like you said, you didn't have your retail stores, you had the petrol station, and it's just Australia is so big in land size and so diverse that we even sometimes forget. Like, that's why I think I really love one of your projects, what you're doing here, because I think we can sometimes forget about our remote communities, and we don't probably talk about it enough in a positive way. And what I really love is how your project is empowering it's positive. The messaging's all about practicing self-care, empowering yourself, feeling good. And I just love that empowering message. And can I say big shout out to Nina Hargrave, founder of Serene Body Health, because Nina shared in, I just recorded her in a podcast show, and she shared why she made a decision to actually support your Happy Boxes project. So she's putting together her beautiful all natural Australian botanical perfume oils, and she just coordinating like toiletries and things like that. And she shared how important it is for her to support Australian charities, and she felt your charity was so empowering and so positive. And I think that's what we really need in the world, because so much messaging when it comes to do with remote communities in mainstream can be very negative. It can be always about what's bad in the remote communities. And I feel that the Happy Boxes project is what's good. You know, this is a good thing happening in the remote communities. And mainstream media kind of focuses on the bad. And I feel that, you know, social media and podcast show like this now gives us an opportunity, even on Instagram and things like that, to focus on what's really good in the remote communities. Because I've seen so many girls on your Instagram page at Happy Projects. I mean, at Happy Boxes projects, they are so cute. Like they have the biggest, happiest smiles ear to ear. Like they look so happy. And, you know, they are so appreciative. I saw that they were writing little notes, thanking, like saying thank you to the donations and thank you to the boxes. And I thought, wow, they're really appreciating this.
They are. They really, it brings so much excitement to their day when they get to open up the Happy Box donations and see what's arrived. And obviously they get to spoil themselves. But I think what else is happening that the girls have just been so beautiful at creating as a flow-on effect from the Happy Boxes is that they're going out and gifting it to women in their community, and they are constantly looking for, I guess, being aware of who's got an empty cup, and how now that they've got these Happy Boxes to share with people that need a bit of a pick-me-up, they easily can go and treat that woman, and that's really empowering to be able to offer them that. And I think the smiles that they receive when they go out and do the volunteer work for the Happy Boxes is just an extra added layer of excitement and I guess feel goods. But we actually have lots of girls now volunteering their time in community to go out and distribute these. So I think it's just so lovely, because I know that I get lots of feedback from people who put Happy Boxes together, and they themselves love the ritual of going to the shop and thinking, oh, what if I couldn't access any of this, what's the priority going to be? And, you know, I know people always go and they tend to spend more than what they had initially thought they would, because they get so excited by sharing all these lovely products. And then, you know, the ritual of putting it in the box and knowing that so when you have a Happy Box to donate, we provide you with an address in one of the communities, and it goes to the coordinator, who then it goes to the girls, who then hand on to whoever needs it. So it's passing through a lot of beautiful women's hands before it gets to its landing place. And I guess we're quite unique in that you can donate something and know that that connection is going to happen. You're not just donating to a charity in a monetary form and not actually knowing exactly where your money's or the difference that your money has made. You know that your little happy box is going to end up on the shelves of someone out in a remote bush location who wouldn't otherwise be able to have that lovely hot shower with nice smelly things, or wake up in the morning and, you know, put the nice face cream on. So there's lots of lovely layers. But those smiles that you see on Instagram, that's our why. That's what we're chasing. Smiles are our business, and it's the best feeling to know that we're spreading those smiles.
I just watching you, your face lights up. You're so passionate. You can tell how deeply passionate and how much love and excitement and fulfillment you get by just being part of the founding Happy Boxes project. You can just tell it just radiates out. I'm sure all of our listeners can feel your love, because I'm just reading a message here, actually. ST Frock, who is an Australian fashion e-boutique, we'll give them a big shout out because they were part of your Happy Boxes project. And one of their comments is, we absolutely love the cards, so beautiful, and the girls made such an amazing effort making them. They're on proud display in our office currently. And it's just those connections, you know, like just between brands and businesses, and bridging, you know, the city with the remote communities. And it's just so nice to see that there's so much love for our remote communities. And I just feel that, like, every time I look at your page, I just see every young kid there who could be on the Vogue cover of Vogue magazine and Hollywood, on TV, and their happy smiles are absolutely stunning. So you give so much, Emma. Like, you're a mum, you're now founding this project which is growing bigger and bigger and bigger each year. How do you, when you're giving so much of your time, energy, heart, soul, passion, how do you fill up your own cup? What are your self-care rituals that help you feel in balance or help you to feel good?
Yeah, I guess sometimes I'm better at it than other times, but I know that when I slow down, that's the best medicine for me. I think working as a classroom teacher 3 days a week, you've got playground duty and you're on the go, you're looking after these 30 little cherubs, and then you get home and you look after your own family. It's just a really fast pace. And whilst I love it, I feel like when I don't take time to just slow down is when my cup gets very empty. So I think things like just getting barefoot and going for a stroll, and I love cold water therapy, I guess you call it, where you sort of go swimming in winter or swimming in the morning, and just that invigorating feeling you get from getting into some nice cold water. But I guess my daughter has taught me a lot about how to be slow and how to be present, and she loves to be in nature, and she's obsessed with flowers at the moment. And I feel like whenever I feel like I'm not looking after myself, I tune into her and she shows me what I need to do, and we just sort of, pick flowers and watch the ants on the rocks, and watch what birds fly over. And I think she's been the best teacher of meditation and presence, I guess, in that sense. And I guess, like I said to you before we started, there's not much a hot shower and a hair wash can't wash away. So I'm a bit of a low maintenance kind of gal, but I love getting a bit of a mix of coffee and coconut oil, and just getting in the shower and head to toe scrubbing, and finish off with a nice cold shower afterwards. And I just feel like I've spent an hour in a spa. That's my go-to.
Yeah, well, I love your self-care rituals. I love that you're actually learning from your daughter. Is it your daughter 2.5?
She's
Or
20 months old.
20 months old. I love how you're
Yeah.
learning from your daughter at 20 months old. But it
Yeah.
is true. There's that art of mindfulness, and I practice it a lot. And one of the oldest yoga instructors in the world also recommends you do it, where you notice and tune into nature, and you look at the ant on the ground, and you look at the trees and the wind, and you become really aware of actually like the Mother Earth and what's happening
Yeah.
right in your present moment. So I really love that you're doing that. And it's so cute that your little daughter's helping you to slow down. But you know, Emma, like before, when you were living in Northern Territory and you were teaching in the schools, you're able to see the children, the kids in person. With COVID-19, I've heard on many occasions that they had stopped people from entering, going in and out of the remote communities, because they were very concerned about COVID-19 if it got in there, them having no facilities to deal with such a pandemic in terms of hospital facilities. How do you keep in contact now with the girls or the coordinators on the ground? Do you regularly catch up for Zooms, or what does that now look like for you and the team?
Yeah, we Zoom is my new best friend, as I'm sure it is with a lot of people. Um, we're very fortunate that we have a coordinator in community who we can reach out to and by email. They're obviously teachers, or not obviously, but they're teachers or they're healthcare providers and youth outreach workers located in communities. So they're living there in a really busy life themselves and giving a lot all the time. So they're quite, they're quite used to keeping us updated by email. But we have started doing Zooms with some of the girls. We had a Zoom last week with the girls in Tiwi Islands, which was really great. And it was just so nice to see their faces in real life. And I guess, know that there's a real humans on the other side of the happy boxes that they receive. And yeah, we're trying to, I guess, COVID has been such a bizarre thing in that people have been so disconnected on such a isolated level for the first time in my that I've most people have ever experienced. But it's also with technology, we're getting these different types of connections. And I think it's spurred on a lot of beautiful connections as well. And we're trying to, I guess, I guess as people become more comfortable and experienced with using technology, we're able to make more connections with the people donating here and people in community. And we've also got some girls groups in Queensland that are doing a wellbeing program. They're from the Gold Coast. They've grown up there. And they're doing a wellbeing program where they're hiking, and they're hiking different summits, and it's part of a self-care camp, and part of it is donating to the happy boxes. So they're putting together boxes. So I'll be Zooming with them soon. But they're on the other end of it. So they're putting the boxes together, and they'll go out to our Tiwi girls who will receive them and hand them out in their community. So we're hoping to get a connection over Zoom with, 2 girls groups. Wellbeing for them is potentially quite different, but also essentially the same, about getting together and doing nice things for ourselves and feeling good and lifting each other up and empowering each other. So it's been really cool.
I love this, how you're getting the groups together, how you're empowering each other, because the most important thing is surrounding yourself with people who raise you up, support you, cheer you on, positive influences. Because if you're, in a situation or an environment and you're living there and it might not be positive, like it could be you're living in a negative household, anywhere in Australia, this is remote or anywhere in Australia or the world, what you always have to do is then seek people outside of either your home, and whether that's online or, like you said, through these amazing groups that you're doing with Zoom, and seek positive influences and influencing and sisterhood or brotherhood, but just people who lift you up, raise you up. And that's what will also be able to get you out of that downward spiral. So I love that. That's a really cool thing. And that's the beauty of Zoom now, isn't it? Like, it's been a phenomenal, what would we have done in a pandemic if we didn't have Zoom? Like, it's been amazing, Zoom. Like, we're doing Zoom today for the Spaitgirl podcast show, but I'm just feeling so amazed, like how there can be sisterhood in, say, the Gold Coast. I love the whole well-being, focus on well-being and self-care and empowering, and then connecting with other girls in another remote community and just inspiring each other to live healthy lifestyle. Because you can feel so good by going for, you know, a walk, doing yoga, meditating, like you said, just washing your hair, and even just being around positive people, positive influences. But also then, of course, we all know that we feel good when we have our self-care products we love. So now that the girls and women are going to have these products, it's going to be phenomenal. And one of the messages I really loved on your Instagram page at Happy Boxes Project was, it referred to the children, the remote children, and it says, "We are the elders of tomorrow. Hear our voice." So, and today is about celebrating the uniqueness and the importance of knowledge and wisdom, and being them playing a crucial role in the development towards being an influential elder and leader of the future, which I totally loved. So I really, I know we spoke about this before we hit the record, but for so long, even when I grew up in the 80s in Australia, the messaging, and there is still slight messaging like this, but it was very much messaging that you're disadvantaged, you know, you're going to die young. It was very negative messaging. It wasn't empowering. And what we know now through knowledge is we can achieve really great brain health regardless of our genes, through healthy eating, healthy exercise, steering clear of, you know, street drugs and alcohol, and meditating to help with stress, and just trying to live a really loving, kind, compassionate way of life. So despite statistics and genes, there's a real opportunity for all anyone in a remote community or anyone in Australia and the world to really work on good health. So I guess if we have any empowering message, Emma, to finish our podcast show off, is that this is just really exciting. It's the first time this has happened in Australia, the Happy Boxes Project. I'm super excited to share it here. I can't wait to see this movement, this project, this charity grow and grow and grow for years and generations to come. And I can't wait to see the stories like unfold, even say in 20 years, when one young girl was going through a really difficult time. Then she receives this box, Happy Box, right? She gets these products. She's inspired to practice self-care, makes her feel better. And then it's going to change her life. It's a life-changing moment, because from that moment on, she's going to learn that it doesn't matter how tough life gets, you can make yourself feel better by taking care of yourself. So I'm super grateful, very honored, and super proud of you, Emma and all of your volunteers and all of the brands up until now who have donated. Big shout out to all of you. There's so many of you involved, and to all of our remote communities who are jumping on board, and the kids and the elders, and it's just such an exciting, positive vibe, and happy times and happy smiles and self-care and do it yourself day spa. There's no day spa out at the remote community. So just to feel that these young kids and women are now going to kind of create their own spa self-care community and movement is super exciting. Now, Emma, before we say goodbye, how can brands, first of all, if someone lives outside of Australia, because we have a lot of global listeners, can they get involved still? Can they legit put together a box and be involved? Because I know that there's going to be a lot of people that live outside of Australia. They're going to hear this and actually want to connect with our remote and our actual custodians and future elders of this land and current elders and community.
Yeah, definitely. I guess because we sort of operate through our website, anyone is so welcome to jump on there and grab some details to post a happy box. I guess the main thing would be if they're in a position to afford the postage from overseas. That's the only barrier. We also on the website offer, if people are a bit too busy to put together a happy box, they can jump on our website and purchase a Happy It Yourself workshop, which we put together and send out to community. So that's a DIY beauty workshop for 10 women to get together and make their own beauty products. So people might find, if they're overseas, that may be an easier way to still make a beautiful difference. But yeah, the only barrier is access to a post office, really. We provide you with the details and you ship it straight to them, and people have posted from the UK before, so I don't see why we can't keep receiving the love from over the seas.
Yeah, because I just feel that someone's gonna there are so many people who have traveled all the way to Australia to go out to Alice Springs to see Uluru, the spirit land, and they're gonna find out about this and go, wow, I want to just send beauty products, shampoo, conditioner, and amazing things. And I know we have a lot of brand owners who create Australian made products, a lot of spa brands that are they're going to be an amazing Australian brands that are going to hear this and go, wow, I want to be part of this. I want to contribute in a positive way that's going to make a positive impact, that's going to empower our youth. That's really just we just need so much positivity when it comes to our Aboriginal communities, our culture, just positivity and happiness. And I just, super, super grateful that now everyone tuning in has the opportunity to go to happyboxesproject.com to find out more, to get involved, and you can find out where you can send your own happy boxes too. So Emma, thank you so much for this time. Super grateful, super honored, and I know so many people are going to be super excited to find out about what you're doing. You're an incredible, incredible Aussie woman thinking and caring about others. Because you give so much, you just radiate with this happiness, this joy and happiness, this fulfillment. And it just reminds me of how feeling good doesn't have to be about, you as an individual making all the money. It can be feeling good is giving. And I think that's why I love doing the podcast show, It's just
Yeah.
giving and sharing and serving. How can we serve others? How can we help others? How can we
Yeah.
make a difference in our own communities in this world? So Emma, thank you again. We will say
Aw.
goodbye to our beautiful guest, Emma Sullings from Happy Boxes Project. Thank you, Emma.
No, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And the beautiful thing about the Happy Boxes is that it's just grown so organically off the back of people like yourself that have given it the time to share and send its message. So thank you, because you have made a real difference for our girls as well.
Thank you so much. We'll have to do it. You'll have to get me on a Zoom and I'll do one of these motivation
Oh, yes.
talks and meditation and like inspire
Definitely.
them, because I just love it. So for all of our podcast show listeners, super grateful you made a decision to tune in this week. I really hope this story, this real life story, inspires you to want to make a difference to not only your own life, but everyone else in your community. And I hope it inspires you to just give a little bit more and just to be kind and loving. And like I always say, we are visitors here on Mother Earth. Everything is temporary. We are brothers and sisters. And when we can see each other like that, it's just from a place of love. So let's just be loving, be happy, be kind, and I will see you on the next Spaitgirl podcast show. Love for you to subscribe, leave a 5-star rating and review, and to tell someone you love to. And I'll see you anywhere on any podcast, any social media app. Just hashtag Spaitgirl. And let's connect. And when you send this Happy Boxes project, make sure you DM me at tag Spaitgirl, at tag Happy Boxes project when you're putting it together, because I just can't wait to see this unfold and be part of this journey also. Love you all to bits. Bye for now.